Hi and good evening, everybody. This is Cristina Williams, and tonight we're going to be speaking specifically about the road to bronze. I don't know about you, but when I got started with ASEA, I was really exhausted from having tried different things and having not succeeded. I was disheartened. I had very little hope. I had very little faith whether this would work, whether I would work. And I didn't really have it in me to just do something else and fail, or quit. I really wanted to make sure that if I was going to embark on this journey, that I stacked everything in my favor to have the best chance at succeeding. And so when you're going to walk through a minefield, the most obvious thing to do is to follow somebody who's already gone before you. And fortunately with ASEA, it's not a startup. You and I aren't getting started just out of the blue. Let's see how we can make it work. Fortunately, there's a long string of people that are already incredibly successful with ASEA, and all we have to do is go to them and learn from them. And that's the wonderful thing about the network system, where you have inbuilt into the business system already the ability to the access to mentorship, the ability to go to people and say, what have you done? How can I do the same? And that's exactly what I did when I got started. I went to Danny, I went to Bart and Melissa, I went to Malcolm, and I said, please tell me what you've done. I desperately want the outcome that you guys have had. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. I'm just ready to work. I'm not afraid of working hard, but I need to know that what I'm doing is going to give me some results. And so that's how I launched forward with ASEA. And fortunately for me, Malcolm and Danny and Bart, they are really amazing at putting a strategy together, really amazing at putting a plan together, and it takes the thinking out of it. It can help you relax because you go, this is a proven path, this is a proven method, this is how I can be successful. So if somebody can just let me know if the internet is working okay, it's not glitching or unstable sound and everything is fine, that would be awesome if somebody can let me know. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Sharon. Great. Thank you, guys. So let's launch forward and explore what is the road to bronze. So we're going to touch on building to bronze and also beyond. Now, firstly, whenever we launch into any endeavor, and specifically here, we need to understand what is it that we want to achieve. What do you want to accomplish? And it's got to be more than just putting a name on a rank. Of course, it's nice to go platinum. Of course, it's nice to go diamond and ambassador. Absolutely. But what does it mean to you? That's more important. And I don't want to go all super deep, but it's not just about deciding on a dream, although that is a place we need to go to as well, but deciding on purpose, and it really is something worth exploring. So goals and dreams, they're an expression of our purpose. They're the targets, if you like, that make up a fulfilled life for you and I. And a fulfilled life is going to mean different things. To somebody, it might be to be working forever because they love the idea of connecting with people, reaching for goals, helping other people, mentorship. For somebody, it could be to go and live on an island because they want to meditate and do yoga and write books. It really doesn't matter, but every different rank is going to mean different things to different people. So you can't just get emotional about, I want to be a diamond. That emotion will only last a short time, if we're real, because it's a little bit about ego. I want to be this to other people. What do you want to be for you? Who do you want to become for you? How do you want to live your life? And now suddenly that rank takes on meaning. When I got started, I was a single mom with 4 kids. I was definitely struggling. And for me, going bronze wasn't about going bronze. Going bronze was about being able to pay my rent. Was about buying new shoes for my beautiful boys, about being able to stand on my own 2 feet and not go under economically. Going diamond meant a whole new level of freedom, being able to take holidays with my children, being able to help my parents if they needed it, having the breathing space to always know there was enough. And those are things you can get emotional about. So welcome to your new business. Before you decide that you want to go bronze, I'd love for you to ask yourself the question, why? Why does that mean something to you? From there, once you're clear on why you want to do something, it is going to be a sequential repetition of the basics. It really is going to be quite simple. You're going to experience ASEA, which means you get yourself on a product plan, you select auto ship, of course, unless you're not sure if you want to be involved next month, or if you're not sure if you want the health benefits next month, but otherwise get yourself on auto ship and you're going to track your results. So you're going to experience ASEA. You're going then to share ASEA with others. Of course, this begins by understanding who is in your immediate circle, who can you access in other circles, learning a script, figuring out what you're going to say, and reaching out to people every single day. You know, any business requires daily input. I don't know why there should be anything different, but I remember when I first started and I was kind of putting my toes in and out of my ASEA business, you know, every now and again I'd do something with it. And I said to Malcolm one time, oh gosh, I'm really not getting very far with my business. And in true Mal style, he just said, what business? It looks more like a hobby, the way you're treating that. I was kind of shocked and I thought, no, but he's right. If I was showing up to work as often as I'm showing up to my ASEA business, my own business, I'd be fired. If I had a traditional business and I was putting in as many hours, I would be going under. So remember, this is a business and it's going to require some daily input. Okay, so from there, we need to proceed. Oh, Daya, I think, darling, you've connected up to the panelist. Not sure how that happened, but let me just get you back into the attendee mode, darling. Good to see you though. She's always so gorgeous. Okay, so let's just go back to this spot right here. So we're going to share the product, use the product. We were going to share the product, and not just share the product, because sharing ASEA means much more than just sharing the product. It also means sharing the opportunity. And then finally, we're going to plug in with the team. So we're going to attend a weekly workshop. Welcome if you're already here. We're going to attend major events. We've got a ASEA convention coming up, and we're going to work with a mentor. I often say if you have a tennis player or a basketball player and they're at the elite level, you cannot have a coach if the coach is blindfolded or in another room. The coach has to be able to see you. So if you do plan on going bronze, these really are the basics. You cannot negotiate with your own product usage. You need to be an absolute advocate for what you have in your hands. Secondly, the very cutting edge of you growing your business is going to be sharing it with others. And there's talks dedicated to how we do that. This is not one of those, but there are complete entire talks on sharing the product. Julie Watts does some amazing information on a Thursday night of amazing presentations with Dr. Wayne Pickstone. They're incredible sharing the product. They're also every Wednesday night, you've got the ability to listen to people talking about the product, the opportunity, and more. So there isn't a shortage of resources to help you understand what you have on your hands. You then just have to lead other people to the information. You don't have to become the information. You have to learn how to lead people to it. And we do that daily. And finally, as I said, you've got to plug in. You've got to be open to being mentored, being coachable, and you've got to be open to helping other people by mentoring them. If I could sum it all up, and you know, Bart and Melissa's circle really is a much bigger explanation of these basics, but this is really where it's all at. Live it, share it, and empower others. Okay, and then it's of course a repeat of that cycle. Okay, fantastic. So that is how we're going to grow. Now, as we move forward up the mountain, there are a number of ranks. If you're brand new, this is the very first time you've checked out one of these presentations, you might be thinking, why are we talking a lot about bronze? Well, bronze is the first executive rank. And it's actually the first rank where we start being able to profit share with global revenues through the EMP bonus. So first off, your first goal when you get started is to become an associate. That means that you yourself are active and you're on board. Secondly, you're going to become a director, which means that you have one active personal on the left and one on the right. You are now binary, qualified, eligible for bonuses. Director 300, you're going to have a minimum of 300 points, which is the equivalent of 3 cases on your lesser leg. And Director 700, of course, is the exact same thing, but with 700 points. So what is it then to go bronze? Let's have a look at it right here. If I can click forward. Oh, and diamond is, of course, going to be the dream, but let's get to bronze first. Mel often says if you can get yourself to bronze, you can get yourself anywhere in this business. By the time you reach bronze, you have learned how to ride the bicycle. After that, it's just up to you how long you want to keep riding the bicycle, because all you'll be doing after you go bronze is helping other people go bronze. So what does it take? On average, it takes around 6 months to achieve bronze. Although we certainly have a knack for doing it a lot faster in this organization, the qualification is going to be you with personal volume of 200 points. And you're going to have 2,000 points on the right leg and 2,000 points on the left leg. Now, of course, one of those legs could be much bigger. You might have one leg, the trunk leg, we call it the team leg as well, which ends up having 10,000 points in a hurry. But you need to make sure that on your lesser leg, you have 2,000 point minimum. Now, what is 2,000 points? It sounds like a lot. It's actually just 20 cases, right? Every case is 100. So 2,000 points means 20 cases. Now, if you had a shop and you were looking at your turnover to every week sell or have a volume movement of 20 items through your business is nothing. Really, we've got to stop looking at this like this insurmountable mountain. We can get to it quickly if we're talking to enough people. And the other part of the qualification is to ensure that you and I are helping other people. And in order to do that, 2 people in your business need to have qualified at Director 300. And they have to be in separate personal groups of yours. So you might have Mary who goes Director 300, and in Mary's business might be 10 Directors 300, but you can only count that as one Director 300 leg. You need another of your personal groups to show up as a Director 300 as well. Average earnings, these are in Australian dollars. You can convert them to your local currency. They're about the same in Sing, I believe. But anyway, just convert it to your local currency or go into your back office and check out the income disclosure statement. But you can see there's a range there between 2,500 up to 7,000 per month. That is if you're hitting bronze every week. And of course, by the time you hit it, you want to be hitting it every week. And that then also calculates the average bronze EMP bonus, which is given to you once a month of around $600. And if you're growing quickly, let me tell you, when I went through bronze, the bonuses at EMP were bigger and they were really something to look forward to. They certainly were bigger than $600 when I was coming through. So some enrollment highlights. Okay, when I got started, as I said, just please tell me what to do and I'll go do it. I wanted the results so badly. When I looked at those incomes, it wasn't just numbers on a page. As I said, it represented freedom. It was like, oh my gosh, I can breathe. Wow, the choices I would have if I was really earning $2,000 a month or $5,000 a month. I mean, that's an income. You know, that's an income where you might start to consider yourself working part-time, or one of you in the partnership maybe not working once you've been able to make this size business solid. But it certainly is the beginning of you not having to stress if you can add to your household another $2,000 to $5,000 to $7,000 a month. I mean, what would you do with that? You've got to look at that and really ask yourself, what would I do with that? And when I looked at that, I had a long list of what I would do with that, and it was certainly very exciting. So when I said to Malcolm, just tell me what I need to do, he said, go and sponsor 24 associates. Now, you cannot control what everybody else is going to do, but you can control what you do. Whilst one person is not predictable, groups of people in business are predictable. And we know that when we look at all the bronzes across the organization, the average of how many they have sponsored is 24. And for every one person they have sponsored, 5 more associates have joined their organizations, and their organizations, sorry, that was an old number there. So the organization, I'll go to the next page. Here we go, the bronze highlights. So personally sponsored 24 associates. That's going to give you, because some of those will duplicate, that's going to give you 120 to 130 people on each side of your business, and a flow through volume of 20 cases per week on the left and 20 cases per week on the right. Okay, let's pause for a second. You're saying, how can 24 associates become a bronze business with 120 people on each side? Well, because out of those 24 associates, we know that some are going to just use the product. There'll be a couple that you'll never see again. Off they go to the witness protection program, not a problem. Some of them will vouch to you that they'll never tell anybody about this product, but the moment they're on it, they can't stop telling people, and they'll become multipliers. Some of them are going to tell you that they're going to be the next big ambassador, and you'll never see them again. Some of them will just quietly understand what this is, and they will become your leaders. People are funny, but groups are predictable. And with 24 associates, we know that you will have around 2 to 3 leaders, and you'll see them start to show up as 2 to 3 director 300s. What you want to see in your organization is 5 enrollments on the left, 5 enrollments on the right every single week, and that's going to continue building your business. Now, thank you, Coppo, for sending these through. He's put an amazing table here where we can see Mal Sword's statistics, and he keeps very tight statistics. And you can see right there at the bronze level that the personally enrolled number is 24. And the average time is actually less than what was said before. 3 months is what we're seeing on average, and so forth. Those numbers I don't need to go through again. But let's have a quick look. If you're shooting past bronze, let's look at where you want to be headed. I'm not going to go through every single number in here, but I want to give you your personal enrollments. If you want to go silver, go out and find 28 people that think this is a great idea. Now, the caveat is they're not all going to be customers. If you're just out there putting in customers and you've got 28 people using Renew as ointment for their sore joints, some of them might tell other people, but you're not going to get the duplication. This 28 enrollments is based on a mix of customer and associates. So you want to be having conversations. I asked Malcolm, how much do I talk about health and how much do I talk about business? Well, don't worry about how much you talk about each. If someone in front of you has a disease, they've got a condition, they're dealing with pain, they're sick, of course you're going to talk about the product first. That's obvious. It would be insensitive to talk about the business. But for everybody else who's relatively healthy, the main disease we have is financial struggle. We've all had these struggles, and a lot of people right now in the world are looking for additional income streams. So for everybody else who does not have an immediate health need, let's talk to them about the opportunity, because they're going to use the product anyway. So 28 new enrollments is going to lead you to an average income of $5,000 per month. And that really is very exciting when you consider that that's a $2.4 million asset. Let's just let that sink in. That's a $2.4 million asset if you had that in the bank. So if it takes you 6 to 8 months, that's still fantastic. Gold, you want to aim for 35 people. I remember when I saw these numbers, I was excited. I thought I could find 35 people to do anything, and 35 people out of the 77 whatever billion there are in the world that think that they might want better health, that want their cells replenished, that want to feel better, look younger, perform better, or that want to generate an additional income stream. Do you think you could find 35 people that would think that's a good idea? Yes. Absolutely. Will you have to learn some things? Sure. Will everybody say yes? No. Will you keep going till you find 35? If you want to. It really just depends on motivation. So the very first thing we said when we kicked off this presentation is really where it's all at. You need to decide what gold means to you. Because in numbers, it means a $4 million asset in the bank. It is an average income of $8,000 per month. I mean, what would you have to be in terms of a career to earn $8,000 per month, $100,000 per year? You really have to be a top executive, and you've really got to keep your fingers crossed that you even keep that job. With ASEA, your risk is minimized because it's diffused across the hundreds of associates, across the many dozens of countries that your business might be in. And it doesn't depend on one person maybe making one decision over your business. We've got distribution in 34 countries, and most of the people in your business you might not even know. But you will start with 35 and you'll end up with around 300 to 320 people on each leg. And that's the beauty of duplication. You want to go platinum, average income of $12,000 a month. This is where it really starts to get exciting. You want to sponsor between 40 and 45 people. That's a $6 million asset. And it really is not to be dismissed. You know, when I see the incomes come in, I am grateful. I've never stopped being grateful. I look at it and it hasn't been that long ago that I felt the sting of just looking at the bank account, looking at my boys and thinking, how do I have enough? I promise you to feed them. You know, I'd look and I'd think, I've got to find another way to make money just to get through the next few weeks. When you start seeing that income come in with this company and you realize that you're doing it through helping other people, and your phone is filled with stories of people saying, thank you, my goodness, look at my son, look at my mother, look at my skin, look at my energy, look at my blood results. You just realize there is such a win-win with this company. You're helping other people and you're moving forward yourself. All right, let's talk about Diamond. Wow. What does it take to become Diamond? Well, network marketing loves consistency. I would say any business loves consistency. Any business that you want to do, any endeavor, you want to lose weight, you want to stay healthy, you want to climb a mountain, you want to start a restaurant, you want to get good grades. Any accomplishment is going to love consistency. So these are principles, and our business follows principles. What's interesting is that in the beginning, psychologically with ASEA, you know, you're laying the foundations as a business builder. And it's tricky because a lot of us come into this kind of a business and we come from employee mentality. And so we work really hard those first few weeks and then we go, you know, give me my paycheck, and it's not a paycheck. You might from the first week and you absolutely do, you know, 10 meetings and you're absolutely exhausted by the end of it and you've made $120. And you go, hold on a second, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it doesn't make any sense until you realize that you are laying the foundations for a business. And it makes sense when you remember that you might have been paid $120 for this week, but you haven't finished getting paid for this week. Some of that early work that I did in those first 90 days, those are the biggest leaders that are now in my organization. And every single week, cash flow comes in, residuals come in from those first few meetings that I did. So just when you start yourself thinking like an employee, remember you're laying down the foundations to a business. And in a business, you would do cartwheels, flipping cartwheels. If in a traditional business, you made a profit in the first few weeks, forget it. Most businesses are sucking up money and they're like a big well, and you will dump money in there and hope, keep your fingers crossed, that maybe in 2-3 years, you might see something back out of the hundreds and thousands that you put into it. If you think I'm exaggerating, go and talk to any business owner. I've been there. Those that have been there do not want to go back. It absolutely is soul destroying, and you have to have a level of risk that for most of us really should be unacceptable. With ASEA, you still have to put in that work at the beginning. It is front heavy. And at the beginning, in those first few months, if you can get yourself to bronze as fast as possible, and remember, even if you've been in business for 5 years, the count can start today. You know, it can take you 3 months from whenever you decide, let's go. Don't give up because, yo, I've been in here for 5 years. Who cares? The count can reset tomorrow, right? So off you go. In the next 3 months, you can go bronze. That is the foundation. If you look at the numbers, it goes 1 to 24 personally sponsored to bronze. And then how many does it take to go diamond? Well, to go diamond, you'll see the average on the next page, but it's 45. So how is it possible that we go from an income of bronze to the diamond income and all we've done is the same amount of work again. That is the beauty of an exponential residual leveraged business. So what you're going to have to do in order to qualify at Diamond, and it takes on average 21 months to do so, is be personally active with 200 points. You're going to need 15,000 PGV, that's personal group volume on the right, and on the left, that's equivalent of 150 cases. Again, not outrageous, but it is an accomplishment. And you're going to need 6 qualified director 300 legs. Average income of a diamond is between $20,000 and $30,000 per month. Could you do something with that? What career would you have to have in order to be earning this? I mean, would you have to be a surgeon? Would you have to be a judge? And how much of your life would you have to sell out in order to be achieving these figures? And also, let's remember that this is leveraged income. So if you choose to take a step back, if you choose to go traveling, the income still comes in. What other options do you and I have? I mean, this is the question I ask myself. Are you kidding me? In 18 months, if I follow this system, I can earn $20,000 a month. I'm in. Tell me what I have to do. Well, what we have to do in order to go and hit these ranks is exactly what I'm talking to you from here, through here in this presentation. All you and I have to do is go to the income disclosure statement, take a slice down that monthly average and pick what figure means most to me. Okay, great. At bronze, I can start to breathe. At diamond, I can start to get some serious freedom. And my suggestion is that you really put some emotion behind these numbers. What does it mean at each level? And don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to fill these numbers up with emotion, because that's the only reason you'll move on them. Here are the average time to rank achievements. So Director 300 is 2 months, Director 700, 3 months, Bronze 6 months, Silver 8, Gold Executive 11, Platinum 18 months, and Diamond 21 months. Now, I just want to remind you that the count can start whenever you say go. So do not be disheartened if you've been here a while, and also don't be disheartened if you have lessons to learn at different levels. Sometimes somebody can go bronze really quickly, but they have some things to learn and to overcome before they move on to silver. Sometimes people go platinum really quickly, and then they have things to learn and grow through in order to go through it. And it doesn't matter. The article in the newsletter this week, thanks to my husband, Matt, who writes amazing articles every week, was about running your own race. These are recommended timeframes, but you run your race, because you will not cry about it when you sit at Diamond if it took you 24 months instead of 21. The money's still good. So you just run your own race and be happy with where you're at and focus on progress, not perfection. Okay, so this is what you can achieve if you're just getting started with this company. Month 1, you can totally go ahead and start getting busy, go Director 700 and earn in that first month around $1,000. At around month 6, you can totally, if you're working and you're putting in the work daily, reaching out to people, contacting people, putting in those 24 that we spoke about, you can be looking at an income of around $5,500 per month. And at 21 months, you can be looking at Diamond, which is super exciting. I just want to pause here for a second and let you know that in other network marketing businesses, in case you've come from another network as I had, the rank of Diamond is usually much harder to achieve and is much worse paid. And in my previous company, it took people an average of 7 years to go Diamond, and the income was less. So that's a bit sad. I can tell you it was also much harder. This has definitely been the smoothest, most fun, most enjoyable journey. I'm sure the diamonds on this call would agree with me. Once you get your groove on, this business is fun and it grows fast. And for the people that want higher earnings, you can move on straight past Diamond as well. But by the time you've reached Diamond, you can look at having earned around an average of $195,000. Okay, how busy do you have to be? Let's look at the statistics. This is based on the average of active Diamond leaders during their first 21 months with ASEA. So at the beginning, they had a big burst. Maybe that's you. In the first 3 months, in the first 4 months, you really went to town, you put in a burst of activity, and you were sponsoring around 3 to 4 people per month, maybe 1 a week. The good news is that as you move forward, your own personal activity should stay sustained, but it doesn't have to be 50 people a month, because you're going to start seeing that leverage through your team. Your time's going to start being eaten up a little bit by supporting your team. But we've seen on an average that diamonds, let me have a look here, are sponsoring in their 21, when they're at around 20 months, 21 months, an average of around 1 to 2 people per month. That is so achievable. I hope that's really good news to you. When they looked at the average of how many people diamonds have sponsored on the way through to diamond, it was around 3 personal sponsored people sponsored per month. So if you're looking at around 1 a week, you are hitting a great pace, my friend. When I used to look at the diamond organizations, I think, oh my goodness, like they must be sponsoring 10 people a week. It is not so. The important thing though is consistency. So personally sponsored was 43 associates per month. When they looked at all the diamonds and they said, how many have they sponsored? 43 associates all up, sorry, that's 2 to 4 per month. I'm seeing too many numbers now. And for every 1 person they sponsored, 38 more associates joined their organization. And so you've seen that for those 43 associates added, there's an average of around 1,600 new associates in a total diamond organization. That's how duplication happens. That's what happens when you have an incredible, groundbreaking product. People using it want to talk about it. Mentoring highlights. In an average diamond organization, they helped 579 people advance through the director rank. So that's director 300, director 700. They helped 41 people advance through the executive ranks, and they helped 1 other person go diamond. Okay, we're going to look at one success profile. These are some amazing leaders. We're going to look here at Mal in this example, but looking overall at what the leaders have achieved. They all started off with a massive burst of activity in the first 90 days, sponsoring between 20 and 25 people in those first 90 days. So there is something to be said for kicking off with that 90-day burst. And I hope that you jump in, and if you're starting tomorrow, that you put yourself under a 90-day burst of activity in order to establish or completely take your business to a new level, regardless of where you're at. They're sponsored an average of 3 to 4 people per month, and they consistently worked in depth to help other people rank advance. Mal's journey, it's good to share it here because a lot of you are in his team. Not everyone I know, but a lot. He went director 300 in the first week, director 700 in his second week. It took him 2 months to go bronze. It took him 4 months to go silver. It took him 6 months to go gold, 15 months to go platinum, and 19 months to go diamond. And, you know, look at where he's at today. Mal at triple ambassador, you know, incredible success story, massive income. And, you know, he has gone through the process just like you can. He has just followed the statistics that we've just gone through. You know, sometimes people think, did he break lots of records? Did he go diamond in 3 weeks? No, he just chipped away at it consistently. And those of you on the call that worked beside him in those early years, you know, it wasn't easy. He was bankrupt. He had no, you know, very little faith in himself. He had to work hard on his own mindset. He had to work tirelessly on overcoming a lot of belief system. And it's just work. Someone asked me this week, you know, what's his big secret? I said, it's not a secret. It's just work. You know, he has always chipped away at his goals 1 step at a time. In terms of the income, you can see there the average diamond income, and Mal's income went up quite quickly after about month 17, and has, I would say, continued to do so quite rapidly. That blue line is his income. You can see these are we're giving you a chance to look right behind the curtain. I know a lot of businesses don't do this. You won't see Ferraris and palm trees on this slideshow. You'll see actual figures of what actual people in your team are achieving, because what we want you to know is what's available for you as well. So here are the overall statistics. Looking at Malcolm, so he enrolled in 2014, he sponsored 3 people, and then he disappeared for 14 months. You might be somebody that needs to set a restart. You might be somebody that says, you know what, I've messed around with it, I got excited for a little bit, but I'm ready to get re-engaged. He restarted his business in on January 13th in 2016. In the first month, he sponsored 9, in the second month, 8, in the third month, 8. Total sponsored for those 90 days was 25 people. The averages don't lie. And from his restart, he sponsored 26. From his restart, and in the 21 months that followed, he sponsored 64 people, an average of 3 per month, in order to get to an income of average earning per month of $7,700. At that point, he had been in ASEA a total of 4 years and 5 months, but he'd only been active for 3 years. And that's what it took him, total income to 2019. That's what took him, and him having sponsored now a total of 102 people, to a total income of just under $1 million. Of course, we know he's well exceeded this now. And what we say is, if you want to earn $1 million with this company, sponsor 100 people. So I know there's a lot of numbers there, but let's remember that your first goal is to go out and enroll 25 people, and to do that as fast as possible, and then to stay consistently sponsoring an average of around 3 per month. And you can literally go ambassador. You can go whatever level you want to go to. That's the truth. So in summary, work your business in 90-day bursts. There is absolutely momentum loves momentum. You're going to create momentum by creating some speed. Treat this like a business, because it is a business, and it's going to require consistency. Those that see this as the incredible opportunity that it is, absolutely get the best out of the opportunity. Treat it like a hobby. It will be a hobby. And there's nothing wrong with wanting less out of this business. But if you're putting your hand up and you're saying, I want the big income, I really want to set my family free, I want to stop work, I want to have the choices, then is it worth putting in the effort that others have? Is it worth going out and creating a 90-day burst and seeking to sponsor 3 people per month? For me, I thought it was a pretty definite yes. We've got to work out if it is for you. As I say to people, this business is not on trial. You don't need to work out if the plan works, if there's a flaw in the comp plan. It's clearly paying out quite well. You don't have to worry, is the product real? You can look at the studies. You can look at the thousands of testimonies. The business is not on trial. The product is not on trial. The company is not on trial. The only question mark is the one we have over ourselves. Will I do something with this? This train is leaving the station. Will you get on it? Does it matter to you to create something with this opportunity? And when you've made a decision, just have fun with it. Create a sense of urgency. Stop having to remake the decision. Will I, won't I, shall I? Just make the decision once and make it properly. Once you have, you need to stay connected. That's the way that we stay on track with that decision that we've made. Get on the tools, commit to being at the events, get attached to the resources, talk to your upline. It's funny, I recently started going to the gym, and at the beginning, I was negotiating all the time. I was saying, oh, will I go today? Won't I go? Oh, do I feel like it? Oh, there's a niggle on my knee. Maybe I shouldn't go. It was draining, exhausting, and I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. Once I finally decided that I was going to show up every day, no matter what, it was like relief. I don't have to think about the decision anymore. I just put on my gear. I know it's part of my day. Likewise, make a decision to stop making decisions about this and just engage. There is so much for you here to do. in depth in your own business to support your team. And there's so much support that you can get from your upline. So make sure that you connect, help your associates rank advance, and help them to repeat the cycle of what I'm encouraging you to do, and understand why would this be a good idea for you? Why would the next 90 days be significant if you could establish a bronze income and then go on through to diamond? You know, I hope that that has been a helpful presentation. It really, it's not that it's easy, okay? You're going to have to work, but it's not complicated. And my suggestion is that we're going to have to work anyway, right? All of us, we have to work anyway. Why not work at something where it has been already proven, where other people have already had success, other people, they weren't a specific kind of person. There's all sorts of people that are successful with ASEA. They didn't have a specific kind of secret. The secrets are here every Monday night if you show up to training. They weren't working in a different market. They're working in yours. They weren't working with a different product. You have the same product in your hands. So the opportunity is really going to open up and unfold for you. And so is bronze and so is diamond when you decide that you're ready to engage. And then the footsteps are pretty simple. They've been mapped out there by Mal, by Bart, by Danny, by all our leaders. I know I just followed those numbers. I just thought, I'm going to switch off my brain. My own ideas about how I'm going to build this business my way have left me struggling. If I look at their results and I look at mine, maybe I should start listening to them. So allow yourself to be mentored. And I hope this presentation has been helpful. Okay, let me see if we have any questions. I'll pause the recording and let's see if anybody has a question.